Well, Adam joined the Marlins organization back on July 30th. He was part of the trade that sent Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing to San Diego. Of course, Miami brought back Graham Pauley, Robbie Snelling, Jay Bashirs, and Adam Mazur. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. Let's first start with the obvious. Just you've been here now for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. What's been the transition like to the Miami organization?
It's been good. It's been a lot of fun getting to meet a lot of new guys. And then also kind of with previous trades, I know Jacob Marcy's over here, Nathan Martorella, and so getting to play with Marcy again's been really fun. And just looking to end the year strong and keep trying to get the jumbo shrimp chance to win.
So you're a Minnesota guy. Did Max Meyer let you sit at the cool table at lunch?
I played 1 year of high school baseball with him, so I wouldn't say we're super close, but yeah, definitely have known him for quite some time now. But yeah, it was pretty cool to be able to say that we're on the same baseball organization now.
Is it pretty amazing thinking back to your childhood days, Adam, that you guys are now in the same system and have an opportunity here in the not too distant future to be pitching together in the same rotation when you were high school teammates not too long ago?
Yeah, definitely surreal. I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, if you would have told us that we'd been playing the same major league team, we probably would have been super shocked, super surprised, and probably wouldn't have believed you. But just kind of the way the world works, it's really cool, really crazy.
So, Adam, we'll get to your present day pitching right now, but I think since we're on the subject of high school, you didn't start pitching until you were a junior. How did that come about? And you know, that's pretty late, right, to start your pitching career.
Yeah, growing up, you always move around positions, so I always tried out pitcher, but for me, I always loved middle infield. And then my sophomore year, when I was up at the varsity team, I'd always play shortstop with Max was pitching, and then when he came out, I'd move over to second base. So, losing him, it really showed that there was a need for pitching, and we had a Florida trip booked that year. So over spring training, we were down in Florida, and one of the games I was throwing in, I was actually throwing a little bit harder now, and was able to put a little something behind the ball. So I was like, okay, I can kind of see myself doing this. And then that year kind of just progressed into me becoming a full on pitcher.
And I guess, Adam, to where you are today, obviously that there is a nature to this business, and there's always a chance that you find yourself with a different home somewhere. Were you surprised 6 weeks ago to find that you found yourself in a trade to a new organization?
I think you're always a little surprised, with kind of the track record that the the Padres have. They're going for a win now, and they have a really good lineup. So you always were a little bit on the edge of your seat around the deadline because you never really knew what was going to happen. But yeah, excited to be here. Excited that we were able to make a deal happen, and kind of just excited for the future now and thus this opportunity.
You've had a little taste of the big leagues. What did you learn from that experience that, now that you've taken back to the minor leagues that you're trying to, I guess, maybe implement into your game?
I guess I'd say for me personally, it was a lot of mechanical stuff. I kind of got up there and didn't quite execute as well as I wanted to, and so for me, I've kind of taken it back. And when I've been down here, I've been focusing on just trying to feel the right things as I'm going throughout my windup and my progression, and then just executing a lot better and being able to hit the zones that the catchers are calling and throw really good at pitches.
Adam, your debut was against the Angels, if I'm not mistaken. You threw 6 innings, gave up just 1 run, and I know the rest of the appearances you would obviously want to have back. But how important was it for that at least little snippet that you can do this and you can do this at a high level? You don't just screw around and throw 6 innings and give up 1 run just by accident. I mean, how important was that for you?
Yeah, it was really big, and I felt like in most of the other starts, there were good things to take out of it. It just was one thing here or there that kind of went the wrong way. So, was happy with kind of how I battled this year, and just excited for another opportunity and kind of having some time up there. I know to expect a little bit more now, so I'm excited for that.
What has the organization relayed to you as far as when they want you to be up, or have they gotten that far? Just sort of your overall message from when you got here to now, I guess now.
I haven't heard anything about going back up or when I'm supposed to be up there or anything like that. So for me, the focus is just on getting better every single day here in Jacksonville, and trying to complete myself as a pitcher and make myself so much more well-rounded.
Adam, when you got your when you made your big league debut, and obviously went very well, but you alluded to after that maybe struggling a little bit. Can you kind of take us behind the scenes a little bit? And it might be a little personal, but did it feel overwhelming? Because I know you said you started to go back and you worked on your mechanics. Is it almost refreshing that you got a taste of it? You know what it's like. Everybody obviously would like to be perfect for their entirety of their career. It's just not possible. Did it get overwhelming when you started to struggle? And is it a little bit refreshing now that you can take a step back? You know what it's like. You know what you need to work on.
I wouldn't say overwhelming. I would just say it was frustrating because, you're out there working every single day and it's just not going your way. But that's just kind of how baseball is. Like it's built upon failure, and so you got to take your failures and work with what you're feeling and kind of get through that and get back to successes. Yeah, I'd say just more frustrating because I knew that I had good people in my corner and they were really helping me out with anything that I needed. And so, to kind of come back and be in Jacksonville now and throwing pretty well. So it's kind of nice to be able to see, okay, what I was working on is starting to have some impact, and just to continue to work on the little things.
So I know you came out of high school and you went to South Dakota State. Are they the Jackrabbits? I believe they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. And then I understand you had a very good Cape Cod season. You parlayed that into a career at Iowa where things were very, very well. A two-part question for you. Why South Dakota State, and how excited are you about your Iowa football offense here in 2024?
Honestly, out of high school, I wasn't super heavily recruited, and so for me, it was kind of University of Illinois, Chicago, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, and then a bunch of D2, D3s. And when I took a visit to South Dakota State, I absolutely loved it. It was a really good fit for me. I feel like it was a smaller type campus, and so it was easy to kind of get around and stuff. And the pitching coach that they had at the time, I really liked, and was kind of the main recruiter for me. And so it was a good situation going in. And then kind of once I got there, it was just kind of crazy timings with the pitching coach leaving and then COVID happening. And so it's just a bunch of things out of my control.
Why do you think you were under? Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's hear the Iowa with Cade.
And then the Iowa game, I was pleasantly surprised seeing that many points put up week one. If they can get about half that every single week, I think it's going to be a really good year for them.
Big
Why do
one
you
this
think
week.
you were? Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
I just said big game this
Mm-hmm.
week.
Huge game this week against Iowa State. Adam, why do you think you were under recruited?
If I had to guess, it's probably because I was still growing and maybe a buck 50, a buck 60. And so, tall and skinny, not super physical. And for the first 2 years, I was mainly a middle infielder. So I didn't really show what I could do, I guess, on the mound until junior, senior season. And by then, so many guys have already committed and so many spots are already taken up.
We know how important it is to have a short memory for the good or the bad. Before your start a couple of nights ago, you threw 13 combined innings of one-run ball. How do you flush the bad starts like a couple of nights ago?
You just get back to work. I showed up yesterday, kind of went out there, went over the video that I was given, and kind of just watched it and was trying to find little things on myself that I was not doing well and could improve on, and then going to catch play, and you kind of work on those things and just get a better feel going into the next week.
Adam, I think about guys like Max Meyer and Connor Norby. There's an obvious tie to Minnesota, but I have often found over the years that the under recruited, the underappreciated Midwest, Northern Midwest, a different attitude, different mindset, different mentality. It's not Florida, it's not Texas, it's not California, where all these stars come out of. But I think people maybe should appreciate that Midwest mentality a little bit more. And I see it a little bit in Max, and I see it in Connor Norby. Do you carry kind of the same attitude and mentality when you pitch?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. You're always going to want to go out there and be a bulldog on the mound and get guys out no matter what way you're able to do it. You just want to go out there and get outs. And kind of with the Midwest thing, like, yeah, we're shoveling our fields in high school before playing a baseball game. Like that's just kind of what we have to do in April and May. So it kind of teaches you a different side of mental toughness, I guess, and yet you have to work if you want to play.
Did you play hockey? What was sort of the life of growing up in Minnesota, your teams?
I actually played football and basketball. I was not a hockey guy.
Really? Was that challenge? Did your parents like hockey? I mean, that's like a cardinal sin there.
No, they actually pushed me to play basketball. It was too cold, too early, too stinky, too sweaty, too smelly to be a hockey player.
And who are your teams in Minnesota?
For baseball, I always love the Twins. For football, I'm actually a big Chiefs fan, and then basketball, Timberwolves fan.
Good choice on the Chiefs. Stay the heck away from the Vikings. I got a couple more. Kyle, do you have something right now?
I was actually going to ask you, Adam. I know you're 23. I'm trying to go back. Did you spend any time as a young kid growing up at the Metrodome? Did you spend a
Hmm.
lot of time at Target Field? I mean, what are some of your earliest baseball memories growing up there?
Yeah, mostly Target Field, but I think I went to one or two football games inside of the Metrodome, which is still super crazy to me that kind of like the U.S. Bank now they were able to play baseball in there too. It's just really weird to see the different configurations they can do with the bleachers.
You remember your first big league game you went to?
I do. It was actually with my dad and the two neighbor kids. We went to a Twins game in the Dome.
Who'd they play?
Oh, we had the ticket. I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head who they played, but I remember getting a wood bat and a foam finger.
Nice.
Were you a Mauer guy? Who was your guy?
Yeah, I liked Joe a lot. And then for me growing up, I always really liked watching Verlander and Greinke.
And Granky. Those are pretty two good names there. Do you want to start? Do you want to really are you at the point where it's like I want to get up no matter what? What do you envision the career of Adam Major looking like as a role wise?
Ideally, I'd like to start, but at the same time, like whatever's going to help me get up there and help the Marlins win is what I'm here for. Whatever I can do to help the team win is what I'm going to be able to do, and so kind of just excited to see what they have planned for me.
Adam, I'm sure you had an incredible upbringing, an incredible family. Maybe mom and dad wanted you to play a little hoops growing up. Who's kind of not your hero, but somebody you really look up to and admire, and somebody you'll always point to that really kept you on the right track, maybe in baseball, that's helped you get to this point in your life? I know there's
I
a
say
lot.
for me, it's my older brothers. I took a lot from them, especially being 3 years younger than my middle brother and 6 years than my oldest brother. Was able to really to kind of sit back and digest a lot of, for me at the time, faster paced games just because they were older, and so going to their baseball tournaments, their basketball tournaments every single weekend was really big for me, and it kind of gave me a kickstart for my age group. And then in high school, one of them was a pitcher, one of them was a middle infielder. I kind of adopted both and kind of became the best of both of them.
So what are you off the field, Adam? I mean, give us sort of a sneak peek of what kind of guy you are, your music, what you like to do.
For me, I'm really laid back. I just like enjoying time with family and friends, going golfing with them, going fishing, kind of just hanging out on the beach, kind of just out in nature with them and just hanging out. And then music, very wide variety. Right now, I'm enjoying country, so I'm kind of sticking to that. But kind of throughout the year, it gets all mumbled up.
How's your golf game?
I haven't played in a while. It was getting
Uh-oh.
good this past spring training and this year, and then I haven't played since I want to say like May or June. So it'll be interesting getting back out there again.
What's the off season you think going to look like for you, Adam? How much time you take off before you get back after it? Man, we live in a world today where you guys take 10 days off and you start seeing the Instagram and the clips of everybody getting right back after it, man.
Yeah, definitely something I have to talk with the Marlins about and kind of see what they have a plan for me and get an off season scheduling from them. But ideally, take a little time off of throwing, kind of rest the arm, and just really work on weight gain this off season. And then when the throwing does happen, and we're revamping, kind of working on for me change up and really just feeling comfortable with it going into next year, and then just kind of fine tuning other pitches and just getting a good feel going into next year.
So the minor league system has sort of turned into the Miami Padres. Who were some of the teammates that you were closest with, even with the trade that sent you all you here in July, and also the one, back in May with Luis Ariz?
Super close to Robbie Snelling. We were roommates to start this year in San Antonio, so excited to see him again, and excited to kind of continue our journey together. And then was playing with Paulie before we got traded this year. We're both in El Paso together, so it's kind of fun and interesting and super nice to have someone going through the same issue that, or I guess scenario that I was going through, and kind of having the same issues where not really knowing what's going on at the time. And then Marcy and Marty are great guys. Played with them a lot last year, so excited to see them again.
So, Adam, I did ask you a question earlier, and I probably asked it incorrectly. I asked if you had any conversation with the front office, just, what their plan is for you, or what they want you to become, or what they want you to work on. I'm just interested to know what they had possibly relayed to you, if it was the manager, whatever it may be, just anyone in that upper echelon that has spoken to you and said, Adam, here's what we think you are, here's what we want you to work on, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily that kind of conversation, more just about like when I was getting traded over, kind of where I was going and what that was going to look like, how I was going to get there and everything. And then once I got here, it's honestly been a lot of pretty similar. I kind of go out there, do my routines and do what I need to do. And then if our pitching coach or someone sees something, then they kind of let me know and we have a conversation about it. We talk about it. We try to find the next steps to continue to improving. But yeah, nothing really of that kind of conversation where it's like, this is what you need to work on. This is it's kind of all fluid, and we're all working on something every single day, and trying to make every single pitch a little bit better at the end of the day.
I know you have to stay in the present, but do you find yourself, and Steven alluded to the fact that you've played with so many of these guys. It's, that's rare. You don't often find yourself in a trade with so many guys, and a trade from 3 months prior, and you play with so many of these guys. Do you find yourself in group chats at all, or chatting about, what, we can't wait to be together and to do something special for an organization, or is that just a pipe dream on my part?
No, when we got traded over, I think it was either Marty or Marcy or someone that kind of texted and was like, the band's back together. So we had, I think, 5 or 6 of us kind of going in there and talking about how crazy it was that out of all the teams, we're all still together on one team. So definitely super cool to be with this group of guys. It's a special group, a lot of great talent here, and just excited for this future.
Have you been down to Miami?
I have not.
Even
I've
with
been to
vacation,
Orlando.
anything?
Been to Orlando, not Miami.
Oh, you get the Mickey ears on up there? You went to Disney?
My girlfriend and I 2 years ago went to Harry Potter World. She's a big Harry Potter fan, so we
You're
went
a
for
good
vacation.
boyfriend.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have mine asking the same thing. Give me some ins and outs, some tips and tricks there. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, Adam, but go ahead.
Not a big Harry Potter guy, but if you know someone that is, kind of just follow them and let them take the lead. They'll lead you to where you need to get to. They understand what's going on, so kind of just go with the flow and be a good person to be with them.
If it opens
and
up
check
off
your bank
seasons at
account
one
to see how much
o'clock.
money you have. See how much money you have available before you go.
Yeah. Don't be just going to any stores and buying all the gift shop stuff that they want. Kind of keep it smart and get a butterbeer or something and move on.
Did you ride the train? Did you ride them? Did you do the ride?
We did not. We
buy a little wand?
No. We
no
kept
wands?
it pretty simple. We did more of the ride kind of stuff.
You do the butterbeer?
We did. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I don't know.
You're a good man, and you did that all without caring about Harry Potter?
It's all right. I've watched it one time through now because she did make me watch it before we went. So I have seen it one time through. It's pretty good. I don't know. I didn't have the highest hopes going into it, but it was. They're pretty good movies. Just kind of long.
Here's what I would say, Adam, and this is now we're giving relationship advice on the podcast. Before football season, you have to sacrifice some of these Harry Potter excursions, whatever it may be. You've got to take the time and do it before football season, because then 1 o'clock comes on Sunday. Do you want to go, pumpkin picking? No, I actually don't. I want to watch the Vikes at 1 o'clock. And you can go back to, now you got to put the Disney pictures on the fridge. Remember that? And that's how you kind of have to handle it, especially before football season. Your thoughts?
I like it. Got to build up brownie points, got to get ready for the football season whenever it comes.
Have you done all your fantasy football drafts?
I have, yes. Excited.
How many leagues you in?
This year, I think just two or three. So nothing,
Mm.
nothing too crazy, which is kind of nice.
All right. Well, that's good. Listen, I wish you the best of luck. I can't keep track of all that stuff, but and whenever I've done it, my team stinks. So good luck to you, Adam.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Adam, now I'm glad you worked out with the baseball thing, but what was your backup career? What did you want to do if this thing didn't work out?
I honestly haven't thought about that in quite some time.
That's good.
For me, I think if I wasn't playing, I'd still want to be doing some kind of marketing or sales in sports. So no matter what, I think kind of in the sport realm and being around some type of sport every single day would be what I want to do.
You a video game guy?
Kinda, yeah. Um,
Sports? What do
More
you
the
play?
sport games, yeah.
NCAA,
Oh yeah,
FIFA.
NCAA, Madden right now, kind of both of them. But yeah, it's kind of whenever you can find time in our schedules, it's interesting.
What do your brothers do for work?
My one brother works at a clinic in Mankato, Minnesota, and then my other brother works with like a lawn care service.
Oh, he owns the company?
He does not, but I think just got promoted to being one of the assistant managers or managers.
Well, you find a lot about people the way they mow a good lawn. There's attention to detail, the way they go back and forth. I like
Oh
it,
yeah.
Adam.
Oh yeah.
Coming from a great family.
Thank you.
Kyle, you good? You got anything else?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Adam, we really do appreciate you carving that time, man. We're cheering for you. We're so excited to have you a part of the organization, and we can't wait to eventually see you up at the big league level. If we don't chat with you over the off season, have a great one, have a healthy one, and on behalf of Kyle and I, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you having me.